Hi everybody, Russell Cummings here. Just wanted to take you through how we're set up for a great 2020. As we head to the end of 2019, we head into a new decade and a new era. It's worthwhile just setting up your business well. And I want to take you through just some tips and tricks that I've got for making sure that you set your business up well and you start off 2020 with a rush. So let's just go through it. The first one, and it's pretty obvious, is to take the time to evaluate where you are now. But I find that rarely do people stop, prop, and reflect on what's happened. We tend to just race on and go, yeah, whatever, and race on to the next thing. So just simply take the time to stop, prop, and evaluate where you are now and what that means and what's happened, what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, what do we need to change? Are the three questions I'll be thinking about. What's gone well, what hasn't, what do we need to change? Tip here, be objective and realistic and don't discount the bad news. So don't put your head in the sand. There's a couple of great tools you can use to do this. We've got a business diagnostic that you can use, and there's a link in the article to this. So a couple of things that you can do. If you go to my website and under free resources, you'll see business diagnostic as well if you're just watching the video. So make sure that you use some tools that actually allow you to just stop, prop, and think things through. All right, the other thing to think about is then what's happening in your industry. Because too often we just go, yeah, well, it's my business, it doesn't matter. What's happening around my industry is not that important. But it's critical that you think through the things that are happening in your industry. And I think that the pace of change is increasing, so it's getting faster and faster and faster. And if we just sit there and think that nothing's changing and it's all okay in our industry, then I think you're going to really get into a little bit of trouble moving forward. A couple of things about here. Think about not only the immediate issues, but the future issues. Yeah. So watch some TED Talks and look for YouTube clips on conference speakers in your areas. Look for people who are talking about disruption and change in your industry, or not even in your industry, in related industries or close by industries, or industries where you can translate the technology and the thinking across. So just think that through. I guess my statement here is be visionary, not a naysayer. So don't say, oh, it's not going to happen in my industry, because it will be happening faster than you think. Just take the time to think about that. All right, develop some innovative strategies. So think through some clear strategies on how you're going to attack 2020. It's easier said than done to do this. Strategic thinking is hard work for lots of people, but make sure you take the time to think about being innovative and what you can do. And there's a number of blogs on our website and videos in this channel that you can look at that may give you some insights into innovation and how you can be innovative. But our first tip here is, don't just look at whole businesses when you're looking for innovation, so what's happening in your industry and other places. Look at components of your business where you could be innovative. So for example, if you have a bricks and mortar business supported by an online business, look at what the leaders in the online business are doing. So don't look at a business as a bricks and mortar and online together. Look at somebody who's doing a really good job online and see what they're doing. Similarly, look at people who are doing a really good job with just bricks and mortar and say, what are they doing that we can build into our business? Again, don't copy blindly, but modify and adapt concepts to meet the unique needs of your business and your customers. Another tip is just take the time to understand the target market for your products and services. Too many people are just not taking the time to stop and think about who's our target market, what do they demand, what's changing for our target market, what more do they need from us, and what's happening in that space. I've got some great videos on that where you can map out your target market and just use that to drive your planning. So build a clear plan for 2020. I guess a couple of things here. We use an annual operating planning process, so use that. So the aim there is to cascade a plan down from your strategic plan to your annual operating plan, now, which is a plan for the next 12 months. Now, if you don't have a strategic plan, you probably should get one, but you can still use the technique anyhow. So have a look at the video and the templates we've got for building annual operating plans. And then once you've created your plan, run it through our Change Success Diagnostic. There's a link here on the page for it. But again, if you go to Shift and into free resources, you'll see there's a Change Success Diagnostic. That says, if that's your plan, that's great, But what are the factors that sit around that are going to influence your ability to successfully implement that plan? And you may need to modify your plan to take them into consideration. Similarly, you might want to look at you as a leader and say, if I'm going to make some changes personally in the way I manage and I do things, what I need to focus on personally and use our change success diagnostic. The fifth tip is make sure you focus on you. We often have a big external focus, but my experience is that unless you are in a good place, so unless you are physically and mentally healthy and well, then it's always a distraction. So think about the things that cause you stress, whether they're family pressures, those sorts of things. Make sure you address them. Get yourself some life balance. So think about life balance. So my first step is, understand that I guess that their pressures perceived and real pervade all aspects of our lives and impact us all. And I'm finding that mental health is a critical component of business health. So take the time to get on top of it. I personally use hypnosis and counselling on a regular basis to keep me on the top of my game. And I think it's even more important if you have some mental health issues that you need to address along the way, that you get good help to help you stay mentally strong and give you strategies to help you address them. Um, I guess the other thing you can do is think of ways to keep yourself mindful, and mindful is just about getting out of your head and into the present and being present. There's nothing tricky about it, but things like yoga, martial arts, meditation, exercise, all that sort of stuff can help you do that and make sure you get a balanced, sort of fulfilling life. Second tip is set realistic targets. I'm not suggesting you don't set stretch targets, but make sure you set targets that are realistic and achievable, and you're not going to tear yourself apart trying to achieve targets that are seemingly impossible with the skills, capabilities, and resources that you have at your disposal. So just be realistic. Going from $100,000 to $1 billion business in a couple of years. There's some unicorns that pull that sort of stuff off, but normally it's a much longer run to do that, and you're going to have to be something very, very special to do that. And so just set a realistic target for what you want to do. The third tip is get an activity for you. So I've found this really important that you find an activity that's just for you, because too often we're consumed with business and family and our children and our spouse and looking after them and doing all sorts of other things for them, and being a great parent and partner. That's all fine, but there also needs to be time for you. So make sure you get some time for you. Personally, I've taken up motorbike riding. I've done 550 k's on Tuesday with a mate. We had a fantastic ride, and I found that taking a day off a week to go motorbike riding hasn't impacted my productivity or my performance of my business in any way, shape, or form. It's actually enhanced it, because being present is not necessarily productive, right? So sometimes you just need that break. Now, I'm not saying you all take a day off. That's your choice, but you need to find something for you that's going to help you take better control of your life and therefore better control of your business. Okay, so they're my 5 tips. All right. So the next step really is for you is to I would think is to just take the time, apply these 5 tips. So just think about, where are you now? Think about what's happening in your industry. Build a plan for where you want to be in the next 12 months using our AOP process. And then simply just sit down and think about, what do I need to do to be the best leader I can be in order to take this business forward in the next year. Okay, if we can be of any help at any time, I'm really happy to have a chat with you. There's a link on my website. I'm happy to have a 10 or 20 minute chat with you, completely no obligation, no sales pitch. Just have a chat with you and help you sort out any issues you may have in your business. But if not, wish you a great Christmas, and I hope you have a break and some time with your family and friends, and that you're safe and healthy, and start off 2020 as a fantastic year. Okay, all the best. Talk to you soon.